Good morning, everyone. My name is Rahul Sabishwanath, and I am presenting this topic along with my teammate Shreya Chandra. Today, we will be talking about using SpaCy for named entity recognition. It is also called as NER. In this presentation, we're gonna learn how named entity recognition works and why it is important in the field of natural language processing. And also, we gonna learn how the SpaCy library can make implementing in both simple and efficient ways. Let's get into the topic. Here is an overview of what we will be covering today. First, we're gonna start with an introduction to named entity recognition, what it is and why it matters. Then we will cover about SpaCy and open source NLP library. Then we go through how NER works with SpaCy, and we're gonna look into a demo showing how to perform NER. After that, we're gonna explore how to visualize and customize entities using SpaCy tools. Then we go to the applications of NER and the evaluation and future directions. Then finally, we will conclude with a summary and some references. Let's begin with the introduction. Yeah, now we begin with the introduction slide. In this, we're gonna learn how what NER and how NER works. NER is named entity recognition. It is an important part of natural language processing. It automatically detects and classifies key elements within a text. These elements are known as entities. They can be people, organizations, and locations, dates, products, or events, and many more. The main purpose of NER is to help systems understand how, what, when, and where something is mentioned in the text, essentially extracting the meaningful information automatically. Let's take an example. Consider this sentence: Apple Inc. was founded by Steve Jobs in California. Here we can see that NER identifies three entities. Apple Inc. is an organization, Steve Jobs as a person, California as a geopolitical entity, it also called as location. As we can see, this kind of automatic identification is extremely useful, and you can also know that NER is widely used in search engines, chatbots, news analytics, and business entities, where understanding language and extracting the information from text is crucial. Now we go to the next slide. Now let's talk about SpaCy. SpaCy is an open source library for advanced natural language processing. It's designed for speed, efficiency, and real world applications, meaning it can be handle large amount of text quickly and accurately. One of the main advantages of SpaCy is that it builds to perform at scale. It is not just for research, it is used in real production systems and also we can call as real times. Yeah, SpaCy provides pre-trained models for multiple languages and includes information NLP features such as tokenization, part of speech taggings, and parsing, and of course, named entity recognitions. We can now tokenization means breaking text into smaller parts like words and punctuations. Part of speech tagging means identifying the grammatical roles of words, and yeah, it performs and flexibility. SpaCy has become one of the most popular libraries for text analysis and information extraction. Yes. Yeah. In this slide, we're gonna take an example code to understand how NER works with SpaCy. In this example, it highlights how simply SpaCy makes information extraction. In practice, we could process hundreds of documents or web pages this way. SpaCy's pre-trained models are based on statistical learning, and they have been trained on large text data to recognize these entity types accurately. For specialized domains like medicine or finance, we can train SpaCy on our own datasets to detect custom entities, for instances, drug names or company tickets, and many more. Now we're gonna go how this code runs, and we're gonna talk about it. The first thing, we're gonna import SpaCy library, which provides all the NLP tools we use. Then in the NLP tools, which are being loaded by the SpaCy, and it's a small but powerful model that already knows how to perform tokenization and part of speech tagging and dependency parsing, I'm sorry, and name entity recognitions. Loading it gives us an NLP pipeline ready to process the text. Then we're gonna give some text that will be tokenized, and we can be getting the entities. After that, the output will be print, and you can see the output we got is the persons, organizations, and date and the location. And also we can go to the next slide. After that, now we're gonna demonstrate how Spacy's built-in visualizer can display these. We can now that after identifying entities, it's often helpful to visualize them. Spacy provides display a built-in visualization tool that lets us let us see the entities highlighted directly in the text. This is useful for debugging, presenting results, or analyzing model performance. As you can see, the entity description, label description, organizations, the companies, agencies, instructions, and etc. GPE, it displays that countries, cities, states, uh, persons, it extracts people, including fictionals and many more. Now, my teammate Shreya Chandana will continue from now.
Thank you, Rahul. I am Shreya Chandana. I will continue from this slide. So far, we have seen how SpaCy identifies entities in text and prints them in the output. But sometimes just printing isn't enough, especially when we need to present results to others or visually analyze language patterns. This is where Displacy comes in. Displacy is Space's built-in visualization tool that highlights recognized entities directly in the text, like we have shown in the code that a sentence with colored labels such as people highlighted in one color, organizations in another, locations in another. This is useful because it makes it easier to see what the model recognized and also helps verify whether the model is correct, also makes demos and presentations such clear. So instead of reading outputs manually and figuring out what belongs to what, Displacy provides a very intuitive and visual presentation for the extracted entities. Now, let's talk about the real world applications because NER is used everywhere, often without noticing. Like in the industries, recruitment and HR, that the purpose of NER automatically extracts names, skills, job titles, and projects from resumes. This saves time for recruiters and helps shortlist candidates easier. And in the field of healthcare and medical research, it identifies diseases, it do medications, symptoms and diagnosis from reports, doctors' notes, and research papers. This is useful for clinical data mining and diagnosis support, and also in the finance and banking, detects company names, contract terms, transaction details, and monetary values from financial documents like in the mails or legal paperwork. And also, it will be used in news and social media analytics. Helps track mentions of politicians, celebrities, brands, people, etc. to monitor trend and public sentiment. And these are some examples, like in the simple words, NER converts unstructured text into structured knowledge, which allows companies to analyze data automatically instead of relying on manual reading and interpretation. So, NER plays a very big role in areas where there is a lot of text and we need quick information extraction. To summarize these key points, named entity recognition is used to identify important information in text such as names, places, dates, organizations, products, etc. So, SpaCy is a powerful, fast, and production ready NLP library and makes performing NER very straightforward. With just a few lines of code, we can analyze text and extract meaningful entities. Tools like SpaCy allows us to visualize these results in a clear and interactive way. And finally, NER has very practical uses in industries like healthcare, finance, customer service, and media analytics. So, overall, SpaCy makes it simple, efficient, and scalable to perform advanced language understanding tasks. Thank you so much for the listening. This concludes our presentation. We are happy to answer any questions too you may have. Thank you.